Welcome to the Metaphysical Art Gallery. We're here visiting Roe LiBretto in her studio. Hi, Ro.
Hi, Katie. Thanks for having me back again. And hi, all you people out there in video land. Good to see yous, or not see yous, but cool anyway.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see your latest work, Ro, and hear more about what it means. We're going to be joined here by Caitlin Padilla in about 15 minutes. And in the meantime, I just wanted to chat with you, Ro.
All right. I'm going to share my screen so that we can look at the folder that shows the three pieces that make up the series called the Theological Virtues.
Yeah,
So
let's take
here
a
we go.
look.
Share screen. And this is what I want to share. Okay, now I'm going to close that down so that you're all not tripping over me. And we're going to start with the Duality of Hope. You probably remember that from months ago,
Yeah.
right? The little fishes.
It wasn't done yet, though,
Yeah, I
last time
can't
we saw it.
remember. Yeah, probably. It's probably like midway with it. But I'm going to backtrack in case people are not familiar with how this series started, because you and I started discussing it at the beginning of the year. And as you know, I'm often influenced by the images that I see. I'll have a vision of something and then I'll feel the need to capture it, paint it up. Or sometimes it's a voice that says something to me. And in this particular case, it was I had been all jammed up during the COVID crisis and I wasn't able to paint. I think I made one painting that year. And I woke up one morning and I could hear this chant from going to Catholic school where they made us recite the catechism. And one of the questions was, what are the three theological virtues? And the answer to that is the three theological virtues are faith, hope, and charity. So that kept repeating itself to me over and over again. And I figured, well, it must be time to make a painting. So I started the sketches. And the first one that I did was actually hope. And here you can see that hope is depicted as an anchor. And that's pretty common iconography in at least Christian religions. It is. They think that the anchor represents that which is in your life that will keep you stable in times of trouble. Right? So that's why it's used as a symbol for hope. And as I was working on this painting, I realized that that anchor could be what they say. It could be that which keeps you in place during times of trouble, or it could also sink you if you put your hopes in something and the thing that you put your hopes in doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out. So, as you know, my work, I often use the koi fish to depict emotions. So here I have a koi fish rising up. That is the fish aspiring that his hopes will come true and things will work out. And then the fish that's being thrust into the turmoil of emotions, all these kind of tumultuous sea imagery here, being thrust back down when your hopes don't come to fruition. We're often disappointed and we get flung back into that cycle where we become depressed and hopeless, and then we come back around and we hope for something good to happen and it doesn't happen, and then we become depressed again. So it's one of those wicked cycles. So what this painting asks us to do is to decide, I want to say, like, to hope with a grain of salt. Like, you have to think about what the alternative will be. If what you hope for does not happen, what will you be able to do to counter the effects of it for yourself emotionally? Right now, here we have the higher self in the sky, and the links to that can keep us out of the water. Right, so we can aspire to something. We can remember that there are this, if we turn to our higher self, that has often been our source of strength here. So that was the iconography for hope. Hope has two sides. It has an upside, it has a downside, and that's why that piece was called the Duality of Hope. So the
Nice.
next piece that I did in this series, I thought I could click through, but it doesn't look like I can click through. The next piece I did in this series, come on. This one's actually called Illuminated in the Current Self. There's a little spelling error in that file name. And this is the one that I wanted to put in the Grief and Gratitude show.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And it is. I like it. I like it. It really is. It glows.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember what the heck these plants are called now. Oh no, I can't remember the name of these plants.
You
Anyway,
forgot it last time, I think.
I did. I
Yeah.
can't keep it in my head. So these are a kind of plant that grow regardless of the soil that they're kept in, right? Now this piece is supposed to represent faith. And no, yes, this is the faith one. I get faith and hope mixed up. So if you have faith naturally, you will be able to bloom no matter where you end up. It's kind of like a kind of optimism, right? You think things are going to work out for me, everything's going to be fine. So no matter what kind of soil, whatever kind of situation you end up in, you're going to bloom. But there are people who aren't unable to have that kind of faith. So for them, I say, stand where you are now. If you look at the 3 moons here, stand where you are now. Look back at your life and see how strong you were in the past and how you were able to get through the things in your past to make you who you are now. And there is where your faith lies, because that's what's going to help you have faith to be able to get through to whatever happens in the future.
Nice.
Right? Now, also in this picture, I have the snakes. The snakes represent, is that Katie? Is she here?
It
Yeah.
is, yes. Hi.
Hi. I can't see you, but I can hear your voice. So here, the snakes represent the power, the Kundalini power. That is the secret strength that sits within us in the base of our spine. And it's like, it is the potential of ourselves, the potential of our souls to rise to greatness. So that's there, right? We just don't always recognize it. It's there in the past and it's there in the future. We just don't always see it. But if we accept the blessings, and this is the symbol for the blessings of the moon goddess, if we accept the blessings that are offered to us in our life, we can feed that potential and we can grow into our strongest, best self. So this one that has to do with faith is chock full of, like a lot of my stuff, is chock full of all these individual symbols. And of course, the individual icons are explained in the blog page on my website. So anyone is welcome to take those individual symbols and twist them into a story that means what they needed to mean for themselves. But this is the interpretation that I came up with based on what I saw. So that was the second of the trilogy. So it was Faith, Hope, and Charity. So Charity is this guy. Now, this is not a very good photo of it because I took it in the backyard with the trees and the sun and everything the lighting's kind of messed up, but you get the idea. So we talked about, I think Caitlin was on the call the day I said, I have no idea what the hell this pelican means. I just don't get it. So I did a little bit more research and I found out that it was actually believed that if a baby pelican pecked at the adult pelican would peck it to death. And then 3 days later, it would cut itself and bleed on the dead chick, and the chick would come to life again. So Christian theosophers totally latched onto that ideal and began to use it as a symbol for Christ in the Christian religion. So it became, Christ is said to have given the ultimate sacrifice. The ultimate act of love was to give his life for humanity. So Christian theosophers latched onto that idea, and the pelican then became the symbol of Christ. And I saw it like carvings over doorways and these religious reliefs that were put in churches. As I was doing my research, I found out all that stuff. Now, there's obviously Christianity doesn't have the lock on what faith and what rather what charity is. It's really important to Buddhists, and in the Hindu faith, here we got the symbol of the lotus. In the Hindu faith, they talk about all different kinds of love, all the kinds of loves they are, and they actually categorize them into more things than what I can possibly remember. But I do remember that, you know, there's brotherly love, there's romantic love, there's parental love, there's charitable love, where you help out those who are less fortunate than you, right? So the idea is that we make sacrifices or we give up things to help others in all walks of life for all different things. What I'm questioning, what came to mind with this piece and when I struggled with it for so many months was, where is that line? You know, when is charity, when does charity become enabling, right? You can help a person as much as you can help a person, but then you are not helping them, you're harming them. And the other aspect of that was, if you continue to give of yourself, much like the Christ mythology, where Christ gave his life for humanity, we as humans can't do that because we got responsibilities in the here and now. You know, I'm not going to give to a charity until I'm totally broke, because then I can't help anybody, not even myself. Then I become the beggar on the street, right? So in this particular piece, I ask people to think about the ups and the downs of charity. See, the ups and downs. What is love? What is charity? What's acceptable? So I call the piece Sustainable Charity. And that's what that one's about.
That's
So
awesome.
that's the three pieces. That's those three pieces that make that up.